Robo Bear is possibly one of the most annoying and challenging things ever added in the history of Beeswarm. I can't even count the amount of times I want to quit this game because of how annoying the round 25s were. Because one moment, when you're happy you receive a pollen quest, the next moment, you see a level 25 mega mosquito bearing down on you. I know many players probably share this pain, so it's probably appropriate that I do a Robo Bear challenge guide. Before you even go for any name records, please do note that you should probably get your drives up on your digital bee. To do this, I recommend doing drive runs. Drive runs are pretty simple, they don't require too many mats or upgrade knowledge, and they're just easy to do during your free time. Here are the following things you need for a drive run. At early rounds, like rounds 1 to 8, you should probably look out for any upgrades that give extra cogs. These may include credit, which can give up to 6 cogs, crypto, NFT, maybe even Stack Overflow if you're lucky. I'm definitely missing a lot of other cog upgrades. There are a lot that also give capacity with a cog, or event bee pollen with a cog. Those are just okay, but you shouldn't take them any later than round 6. Once you have all the cog upgrades that you want, go as far as you can. Most people will stop at around rounds 14 to 15. Make sure you are buying drives as you advance further. If you have Digital Bee in your lineup, you should use these drives as often as you can, so you can make space to buy even more drives. Some players like me may decide to go even further than just round 15. If you intend on going that far, you should buy at least one Sharpen upgrade, which is the times 1.2 attack upgrade. There are golden cog mowers that spawn 3 times during the entire challenge. They spawn once on either rounds 3, 4, or 6, and then once again on rounds 12, 13, 14, or 16, and then furthermore on rounds 21, 22, 23, or 24. These cog mowers can drop anywhere from 14 to 20 cogs and will spawn in either pumpkin, mountain, clover, or pineapple. I do recommend checking those fields during those round rotations for extra cogs. It can be helpful for both drive runs and actual runs. Now I'll be covering serious runs, which are runs where you want to get a high score. This could be because you want a better cog amulet or you want to impress your friends. I'll help guide you through that here. We'll start with rounds 1 to 10, which is where you're preparing through upgrades. Every upgrade that you get here is crucial. From rounds 1 to 6, I like re-rolling until I get cog upgrades. Don't be afraid to re-roll. Your gambling here may pay off later. If you get a very good upgrade that you want, you should buy it immediately, or you should use the lock feature and lock that upgrade so you can get it in the next round. I'll go over upgrades that you should be looking for early on. Starting with the basic upgrades, the ones that you see the most often. You should obviously take credit and max it if you have the opportunity to. Defragment isn't worth it until later rounds, so don't worry about that. Homepage is extremely good. Those will be fields that you can do quests in, so building those early is very good. Iterate, Sharpen, and each overfit fall into a similar category. You want to take some of those early and start stacking them up. Trust me, it's going to help. I wouldn't go overboard quite yet if you don't have tons of cog upgrades. Now I'll go ahead and cover the rare upgrades. APM is alright if you're blue, but for red and white hives you can ignore this. Blue screen and any bomb related upgrade is again very good if you're a blue hive. Nullify is the cream of the crop and should be taken by everyone, no matter what hive color you are. Router is also solid because you do get quests that involve the 5B zone quite often. Still, you should prioritize your homepage fields to do quests if possible, since they have a higher chance of stacking higher. Each SSD upgrade is the one that buffs capacity. They're worth it if you can balance the debuffs that they give with other upgrades. I take VPN because I lag and I have skill issue, but you can skip this if you're confident that you won't die. Remember to always take any rare upgrades early on if they're available. Moving on to the epic upgrades. As a red hive, I've never taken bandwidth or HDD, but these are really good for a blue hive. Base 15 is alright, but it's quite rare to get since it is an epic upgrade, so stick to homepage. Always take FOB if you're presented with it early. This increases the amount of upgrade options by 1. Keep an eye out for refactor, this is also pretty solid. Demarcate is another upgrade similar to Nullify in which you should always get. Respect upgrades are a bit of a gamble to take, but I'm sure there are players out there that do take them. I personally just don't, since they do decrease the amount of said pollen by quite a bit. I do highly recommend taking Virtual Pet, especially if you have high amounts of upgrades that decrease your bee movement speed. Finally, I'll talk about F5, which should probably only be taken in later rounds unless you want to sacrifice your cogs per round early. Lastly, I'm going to be covering legendary upgrades. I pretty much take all of these except for codec and Wi-Fi. These should be quests that you should lock if you can't afford to buy them. Remember to always be smart about your upgrades. Take upgrades that can balance each other out. For example, if you have Stack Overflow, you're going to want Overclock or Virtual Pet. If you have overclock and other capacity reducing upgrades, you're going to want to take as much capacity increasing upgrades as you can. Defragment should be taken later when you're pretty far into the rounds or if you have nullify. I didn't cover every single upgrade in existence in this section, so I recommend that you read through on the wiki and take a look at which upgrades can benefit you the most. Some are universal, others may only benefit one color. Good upgrades can determine whether or not you pass or fail the round. When it comes to bees you need to take each round, please just use logic. Obviously, you need to take your best bees like digital, good event bees, or mythics that can carry you super early on. As a red hive, I like choosing a good amount of precise bees and some spices that can help me speedrun the early quests. Pay attention to the bees gifted bonus as well as what mutation or bee equip that they may have, those can also help as well. Finally, I'll be covering quests. Quests are pretty simple, right? If you see something you could do, you just pick it.
Well, you're wrong.
Early in a serious run, it may be beneficial to pick the quest that gives the higher cog reward. This ensures that your cogs are starting to stack up super early on. This applies as long as the amount you're getting is higher than what you get with the speed bonus. In late rounds, you're going to want to pick quests that don't involve you having to go to 3 different fields. 3 field quests are so bad and waste so much precious time. Do not under any circumstances underestimate your quest. I've had moments where I nearly failed easy quests. When you're approaching the endgame of Robo Bear, wherever that is relative for you, this is when you need to start treating it as a boost. You need to start using materials, whether it be popping your oils and extracts or even using a super smoothie. I personally begin to start using these higher level materials past round 20. Don't forget to have all max nectars, charge up your sticker stack, and even donate for wins if you have to. Make sure you're moving as if you're boosting, except when you need to dodge pesky cog turrets or cog mowers. I personally focus on making sure these are dead before proceeding with my quest. Simply move into a position on the field where your bees can attack and where you're out of harm's way. This trick also applies for the boss rounds, which are rounds 5, 10, 15, and 20. I personally always kill the mosquitoes or cog mowers around the map first before doing pollen. Debuffs from the mobs actually build up a lot and can get to a point where you aren't doing anything for your quest. I hope these tricks help you for your next Robo Bear challenge. Good luck, and try not to die.